Just adding something to the chat up on, and I am quite hungry. It is true. The dog's been really relaxed today. He is looking up at the moment, but when I was on the phone earlier, and now when I'm podcasting, he's not. Maybe he's a little under the weather. I am thinking though that I do want to. I don't. It's after 12. I don't think I want to heat up my coffee anymore. I'm not entirely sure though. I also do want to turn off the radio, and I am hungry. Um, which I know is kind of a funny way to start this off, but I've been kind of ignoring it a bit, and I kind of want to go out somewhere for a bite, but I don't know where. I might also need the money that I have for something else at the moment. Although, well, and then the rest of it, honestly. And then also, um, yeah, I'm not sure where, and I don't want to order online because, well, I don't know if I don't want to. I might actually double up and do that, like back in the day. What's his name? Matt did. But right now, I'm just gonna have. Okay. Thought that I had water over there, but I don't. This is what it's called. The dog is up now, so he's probably going to want to be noisy. But what I might do, I don't have enough hands though, it feels like, so just a moment, is I might actually do this upstairs for a bit. Because I do have to go and plug this in. And this may not be super long. I don't know. I guess we'll just see how the conversation unfolds and who tunes in. I'll be stopping moving in a moment here. Just remembered something I left on the bed. I think he probably wants to put this back. Can I do it with one hand? Almost not. There we are. Okay, a little bit of a different location. Just a moment. I do feel that this is a little bit low to be sitting though, but I don't know how long I'm going to be rolling. I also want to plug this in. I'd like to know where my other phone is too, but anyway, I was watching another streamer that I follow, and none of the regulars I've been getting to know on his channel and mine were really there for the past, I'm going to say, for the past, I've been getting to know, sorry for the slow start, nobody's here, but I've been getting to know for the past few months, I guess, 2 at least. We're there, and I was there for about, and I mostly like being there anyway, but I was there for about, I'm going to say 20 minutes, half an hour. None of them were there, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll roll. Maybe they'll come here. And if they don't, whatever. Because I have an idea in my mind. And I'm just gonna, I kind of, I don't want to wait around. I took a step about something today. Wasn't as easy as it could have been, but it might still be okay. And I'm having to wait to hear back from the person who is on vacation until I think the second. She said, so the other person said. So it's Thursday. I'm thinking the second is probably Monday or Tuesday, so that's not terrible. But when everything seems to be kind of slow and stagnant for the most part, and you feel like you're, trying and hoping, mostly, and things are going slow, waiting is hard, right? And what kind of things do you do while you wait, But yeah, basically, so I decided I wanted to come do this and, and talk about this. I put 3 lines in the chat and the view of that. And I'm not gonna, as much as I would love for this to be a conversation and this and that, hopefully it can be underneath the video, and that should happen more, because a lot of it happens in the chat. But it'd be nice if, not only because I sure, but it'd be nice to have them underneath the video as well, the conversation. But because I don't want to just stand around waiting. For viewers to come in. So I just want to get some things off my chest, and then, if somebody tunes in, we'll chat. If they don't, then hello. Then, hopefully after it's posted, we will. I also would like to state I have a short video I did, I'm going to say 3 or 4 weeks ago that kind of said a little bit about what this channel is about, if you don't already know. I also, last night, found myself doing, and I don't want this to sound conceited or selfish or whatever, but it was an interesting kind of thing to do. And stay tuned because I might kind of post a more creatively filmed video of such, but I kind of did a audio biography with the intent of talking about what legacy means. I also have a video about that in the live videos. It's got a thumbnail. It looks like a guy showing somebody else how to build something. About who inspires us, famous or otherwise. And hopefully I've inspired some people too. I struggle setting goals because past number of years, I'm not going to say none of them work. And I know I can't think of the ones that have. And I don't want to call them small, but I don't know. I'd need a real memory jog. But I think that, no, a lot more has just simply been stagnant. And basically, well, that's obviously very hard to accept and to, but I was thinking about it last night or this morning. I was slow to wake up, but it may have been this morning. I kind of am anyway, but I was thinking about there is one thing that kind of has 2 elements that seems to be a constant, and I don't know if it really has an effect on, success and reaching goals and that. I would say mostly not, because there are lots of famous people and other people who relate to it also, and they're doing fine. Sure, I may not know all the intricacies of their life and some of the things that are going on, but I know that they always seem to get continued success, and it's knowing the right people, being in the right places at the right time. I even had a bit of a visual, but I thought, no, I'm not going to think about it. Well, I started to see the reasons why not, and I think they were truly valid. But I also thought, I'm not going to think about too much ahead of time, because if my brain and my soul has experienced it, I mean, sure, there's lots of examples of things that I've experienced more than once, as with all of us, in some cases the same thing. But I thought, oh, am I going to get? But then it was more so. Well, I thought of some reasons to kind of not use something as a reason. Not use some things as a reason, but I can't remember. There was something where I was like, no, but no, that though. And I can't remember what it was, other than perhaps just being unfamiliar with the place and kind of feeling, kind of feeling, yeah, unfamiliar with the place and what that can kind of be like. But so there's a part of me, YouTube wouldn't be my first choice as a place to talk about a certain thing. Not that it's uncommon at all, and not that it's, I don't know. I mean, I honestly think mostly religious people, but not all of them probably, but mostly religious people are the ones that kind of instill a certain thinking, and it's easy for the brain to attend. Guess what I'm talking about, if you'd like. Easy for the brain to connect things not working out to this when there may not actually be a connection. Um, I don't know if you can hear me over that, but I was curious to have some conversation about it and hear why other people, what kind of goals other people's have in their life, other people have in their life, and are they reaching them? And if not, why do they think that is? I'm not saying it's necessarily your fault. I'm just saying that a lot of us experience that, and there are a lot of us that don't. And then I think there are definitely lots of us, if not most of us, that probably are somewhere in the middle. It has nothing to do with tenacity, being a go-getter, having gusto, however you want to say it. I don't feel like it does, because I'm all of those things, and I've been struggling. Again, I think it's a matter of right person at the right time in the right place. And there was somebody there for about 2 or 3 minutes, or felt like longer, but I think it was a couple minutes because it was around the 12 area. And I guess they weren't any of the above, perhaps. Or maybe they were, and they'll realize that afterwards. I guess I would just like to, I don't know what else I want to say about this. I know that the thing I'm kind of alluding to, like I say, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world. Like I say, super, super common, but it's I go a different way of putting it, a hard one. But I know that I'm a good person. I'm trying to do good in the world. Even if I'm not getting a ton of opportunities, at least there's YouTube and the occasional opportunity. And sure, sometimes we have to create the opportunities, but honestly, we also have to know what are we able, what are our limits, I suppose, and being able to get them, being able to be given them is a big thing. Especially after you've been trying to make a go at things for a while. I'm not saying that necessarily things should just land in people's lap. No, and that everything should just be easy peasy. But I do feel that I'm just going to put this in the other room. But I do feel that a stick. Doesn't seem to be, but that yeah, I don't know. I've kind of already said it. So let's have a conversation about this, eh? And what your thoughts are about it. I might as well just read it out. It's short, just in case it doesn't show later. Let's define what are your goals, perhaps both that you've just about given up on, and perhaps new ones, or why you don't set them. Conversation I really surprised I don't talk about with more people. To be honest, I don't feel like I do. Maybe I do, but I want to make it more obvious this time, I guess. Yeah, I'll do it just because. Why not? Put it out there. First of all, sometimes I say, we know ourselves best. We live with ourselves. Hopefully we're fairly aware. It's amazing when people don't, like, their mental health surprises them sometimes. Like, I know what causes it, most of the time. But anyway, it is good to think of yourself first because, but that doesn't mean that you can't think of other people almost as strongly, So, in hopefully good ways. So I first want to, and nobody's here to hear it at the moment. I haven't been rolling that long, but I first want to just say to everybody that sees this that I hope that if you have goals in your life that are for the greater good, for self and others, and are positive things that bring good energy and opportunities and experiences, and you're struggling, especially if you're struggling, but in general, I hope the best for you on them. And if you could do the same for me, lately it's come up a couple of times, I don't want to say, I don't want to, discredit anybody that wants to give prayers. I don't necessarily believe in them because, whether I'm, which is, it is rare, I will say, whether I'm kneeling on my knees with my hands like this or just saying, please God, please universe, please, obviously this would be so great for me. This is what I need, blah, blah, blah. Like I say, the majority of the time, especially in my late 30s here, it hasn't been working. And, I think that's a very strong point to say that, there are billions of people, whether they want to believe, do believe, people want them to believe, including the higher, whether they're talking, whatever, praying at the same time, at this very moment, for some very valid and important things. And just because some people may have more important needs doesn't mean that yours aren't, And so it's very hard for me to kind of believe that God can hear all these prayers all at once, process them. There was a guy on a post that said something about he had some health problems and he survived. He says, "Oh, you sound like a miracle. I could use one of those." But I could stand to have those in my life. But I do appreciate the small things. Not necessarily small things, but I do appreciate what I got. But so basically, if you would, even better if there's something you can actually do, even virtually from a distance, that helps. I could make suggestions. Is that money? Connecting me to someone who you think might be helpful. In the comments, whatever. I don't really want to say my city, but local. And even that, if it's certain parts of the city that are further or harder to get to, but we could see. But anyway, basically, gigs, music gigs, photography, collaborations, filmmaking collaborations, healing opportunities. What else? Those are my main ones, folks. And that I get this gig on the 10th. And there's a few things in September coming up. A couple agency events, and what else? I have a dentist appointment, and I feel like there's maybe one other thing, but I can't remember what it is, and I'm ready to go back downstairs now. So 1, 2, 3, Possibly it's massage appointment I'm looking at. I noted it somewhere, but I don't remember where. Anywho, so if you could please, send your hopes for me on those things, that'd be appreciated. It's very warm up here, and I need to go downstairs. Talk to you later. Oh, did I not end it?